I wasn't born here. I was born abroad, and last summer actually was the first time in my entire life that I'd come to Mogadishu, and in all my 21 years of living, and I didn't tell people why I wanted to come. I just told them that I was coming, but I didn't tell them why I wanted to come. And the reason why I wanted to come was because of Abdullah. Abdullah is my oldest brother, and the summer of 2012, he passed away at the age of 25. And we were really close, and one of our last conversations actually was about him wanting to come to Somalia, and he wanted to come out here and create a life for himself, and he was really excited about the future of Somalia. But unfortunately, he passed away before he could do that. So I took this journey out here personally because I felt like I needed to do this for him. I needed to go find out what it was that was drawing him here to Somalia. So that's what I did. And I got a ticket. I came out here last summer, and I remember I got off the plane, and the first thing I thought was, wow, Somalia is nothing like what I expected it to be. Mind you, I do have a vivid imagination, so I might have been expecting a little bit of like Black Hawk Down with a little bit of Captain Phillips mixed in. So maybe I was a bit biased in that sense, but I got here and I just kept thinking, wow, it's nothing like what the media portrays it to be. It's so different, and all I wanted to do was go home and call all my friends and be like, you guys, oh my goodness, Mogadishu is amazing. So, so that's how the idea for the Mogadishu Diaries was born. And now I want to show you a small clip from my series of where my head kind of was at the time.
Dear Diary. So looks like I finally managed to convince my parents.
Hope you guys like it. Whoa.
I'm going to Somalia this summer. What? Ndish, ndish, ndish. Cue the happy dance.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone.
Now I know what you're thinking. I mean, this is Somalia. It's been at war with itself for the past 2 decades.
There are terrorists.
Instability throughout the Horn of Africa, and Al-Shabaab gaining strength and influence as the fighting rages on in Somalia.
And pirates.
This is the mass cattle.
I'd just be courting death. Somalia is a war zone. I've heard it all. But if there's anything I've learned in my life, is that life is short. Death, there's no avoiding it, no matter where you are in the world. But I mean, I get it. I know Somalia's been fighting for longer than I've been alive, but I read somewhere that Somalia's history can be traced as far back as 9000 BC.
Somaliland is home to ancient rock paintings, at least 5,000 years old.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, what's a couple decades? And I know what the news is saying, but everybody's got a story. That can't be Somalia's only story. She's got to be more complex than that.
So that brings me to what is the Mogadishu Diaries? And the Mogadishu Diaries is a video series that was born out of my own personal experience here in Mogadishu. I remember I was thinking, when you read these news articles, they're always concerned with the politics of the situation or who's right and who's wrong. And I remember thinking that there's real human beings who live in these places that we're debating about and talking about. And I wanted to know, like, despite the war, you know, there's people who didn't get a chance to get out. So what do they do with their lives? They stay here. They fall in love and they get married and they have children, or they go on to become doctors and engineers, poets and garbage truck drivers, like whatever they wanted to be, they did it and they lived here. And I wanted to know about those people. I wanted to know who they were and what their stories were. So that's what the Mogadishu Diaries is about. A lot of the times I get asked, how did I film this stuff? I guess the simple answer is that I really, really, really wanted to experience Somalia. So I got out there. I remember what we used to do is my mom, she would go to work, and of course, like when we came, there was things going on. There's always things going on. And she would tell us, okay, you guys stay at home. We'll be like, yeah, we'll be in bed. We'll be like, yes, yes, mom. Okay, have a good day at work. And as soon as she leaves, we'd sneak out of the house and we would go everywhere. We would call somebody and we would go everywhere. We made so many friends. And I remember I always had a recording device in my hand everywhere I went so I could capture everything. And I got this amazing experience, this life-changing experience because of that. And I'm so grateful that, I did that. My all-time favorite moment, I think, is from my third episode, which is called the Arts and Culture episode. And it's about like the arts and culture scene in Somalia, because nobody really thinks about that. And one of the first things I noticed actually was some of the paintings around the city called Nabad iyo Peace or Nabad iyo Harmar. So I just it got me thinking, like, what's the arts and culture scene in here? And I managed to get this elder, actually, that I interviewed, but unfortunately, due to visual issues, I didn't get to include his interview in my video. But I managed to save this short clip of him singing, and that song is still stuck in my head till today. And I want to play that for you guys because I just think it's amazing and it's heartwarming. It's the best thing ever. So.
Hes bacteria, hes. Marmar how fanaanada gelinaya. Boqol sano horteediyo bari hore waxa jiray inanti ma bifto boqorkiyo dhaclaayo marabay raahilate habadalay kuwi hore barake sadaro bul madaxa saro suuqa baratamayse nin baa saasiri gabadha oo joogto waaytii boqol sano horteediyo bari hore wixii jiray oo la iska balmaray badawyo dib ha ceelin dadkan soo baraarugay waxay banaysanaysaa gabadhaas.
Some of the challenges that I faced during filming, so I don't want everybody to think that I'm over here and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you that it was Candyland and my whole experience was just this huge like fantasy experience. It wasn't. I experienced my own fair share of challenges, and some of those challenges, actually, the first one being a woman here in Mogadishu was a huge challenge. I remember one of the experiences that we had was I went to the seaport with my mom and my friend and my brother, and I wanted to go on this ship and go on top of the ship and take pictures and stuff like that. So when my brother went up the ship, some guy comes running down the ship because we were about to climb the ship. And he's like, he looks at my mom and he's like, "Waxa egtahay nag oo and wax soo baratay. So waa fahmaysaa hadda waxa ku sheegi raba." Because hooyo waxay dhahday, "Okay, what are you going to tell me?" And she goes, "Haween ma la ogolan in markabka koraan." So that was some of the ridiculous things that we experienced out here. And sometimes you just have to laugh. You have to laugh at how ridiculous life is sometimes. One warning that I really want to get out to everybody who's interested in photography and filmmaking, I really want to let you know to be very careful of who you take your picture of. Because I did another episode called The Diaspora Kids where I interviewed different kids from the diaspora that I found out here and got what their experience was out here. And one of the main stories that kept being repeated between everybody was that, "Oh, so I got in trouble because I was taking a picture." And I myself personally got shot at because I was taking a picture. But it was a huge misunderstanding. Me and the guy are friends now, so don't worry. But I just want to make sure you all remember, be very careful when you're taking pictures. People do not like having their pictures taken. So how did I overcome those challenges? Two of the major things I wanted to say thank you to, or major people, is my best friend, actually, Zahra. If it wasn't for her, I don't think I would have completed this video series because I went through a lot to get this completed and done and out there. And she was a person that every time I wanted to stop or something happened and I was just like exhausted, she's like, listen, this is selfish of you. This is not just your story to keep. A lot of people could benefit from this. Finish this series. So she kept at me. So I'm forever thankful to her for this. And to the public, to how people responded to this series. Like I said, I didn't want to put it out there because I was really worried about my editing of the video and everything. So I felt very vulnerable putting myself out there with something that I wasn't sure how it would be received, but it was all positive. I got messages from so many people telling me about how the series helped them or how much they loved it, and I don't know how to say, it was so touching, and I was so amazed that in this day and age you can put something out on the internet and people respond to you in such an amazing way. So a couple of the messages I received, I posted up here. One person said, this is so beautiful, I've never been in the country, but oh my God, you're making a difference. Please keep up that great work. So thank you, whoever said that. You are amazing too. One of our videos was actually a parody, and it was a parody of our all-time favorite TV show called The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And it's called The Fresh Prince of Somalia. And I'm gonna play it for you guys, but it actually went viral. I had random people coming up to me like, did you watch this? Especially in Mogadishu. Did you watch this series? And I'm like, what video? And they're like, oh, this video. I'm like, did I watch that video?
Turn up.
And it goes a little something like this.
In West Mogadishu, born and raised in a straw hut where I spent most of my days, chilling out, relaxing, eating some angela, drinking some ana while chatting to Walala when a couple shabab who were up to no good started making bombs in my neighborhood. Through one little bump, my mom got scared.
What stupid you are على كوتا اللي moving to America with الحبري العذاب.
لكن كمرايخ جيب كيف هنو العذاب شيل cash money $1 $1. I will wait you. I need this. I need this. I need.
Thank you. So the last thing I want to leave you guys was the lessons I gained from this experience. Like I said, this experience was life-changing. It altered my life, and it made me realize how much I really wanted to be a part of this rebuilding process and a part of how Mogadishu was moving forward. And some of the most important lessons I learned, the first one was, don't let fear be the reason you don't live the life that you want to live. Whether it's fear of death or fear of embarrassment or fear of whatever kind of fear is holding you back, don't let that be the reason that you don't become the kind of person that you want to become or live the kind of life that you want to live. And the most important thing that I really think all of Somalia needs to hear, whether you're here or whether you're abroad, is never lose hope. My father growing up, one of my favorite quotes that he always used to tell me was an Italian quote, and it goes, La speranza è la madre dell'umanità, which means hope is the mother of all humanity. And I really and truly believe that I understand there's times where we feel depressed and we feel exhausted by this process, but that's what rebuilding is all about. Sometimes you're gonna be sad, you're not gonna be happy all the time, but you always have to remember your end goal. And the end goal is that Somalia one day will be a country that the entire world recognizes as a powerful force. Inshallah. And the final thing that I want everybody especially the people who sit behind their computers and like to comment on what's going on in Somalia, I want you to remember this quote, which is by Gandhi, which is, be the change that you wish to see in the world. So instead of, I know it's so easy to always point out the problem because you're watching and you're just like, oh yeah, that's what's wrong with you, that's what's wrong with you, that's what's wrong with you. But it's so much harder to try and be a part of the solution to that problem. Okay, there's a problem, come out and try and solve the problem instead of criticizing it. I feel like that's such a more powerful way to move forward. So, for those of you that need just a little bit more convincing, I have this last clip that I want to play for you that basically summed up my summer in Mogadishu.
Your love pours down on me, surround me like a waterfall. And there's no stopping us right now. I feel so close to you right now. So close to you right now, it's a force field.